Strahd, Barovia, Tarokka. What is Tarokka? Well, it's a fortune-telling mechanic for Curse of Strahd, one of the most beloved adventures in all of Dungeons & Dragons. And there is an official Tarokka deck. I've got one right here. I'm going to do a live unboxing, get into just a little bit of the history of it, and we're going to do that right here in the next episode of The Art of Character. I'm Chris. Welcome to the Art of Character podcast, where we talk about all things Dungeons & Dragons, focusing on the heart of it all, the characters. Today, we're going to talk about a character-enhancing element of the game, especially for Curse of Strahd. This right here, the official Tarokka deck. We're going to do a live unboxing and get into some of the history and a few elements of how you might use this. Here's a Curse of Strahd official Tarokka deck. So this is Dungeons & Dragons official. It's actually produced by Gale Force 9, but distributed through Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. As you see, it's brand new. Just comes in its shrink wrap like this. It always says don't use a blade, but we're going to just very carefully, with this thin blade. There we go. Get the shrink wrap off. Let's see what we have here. So there we go, Curse of Strahd. Let's see if we can get into this thing. Oh, it looks like you get into it from the side. Nice. All right, little plastic bit right here. So these are playing card size, but this is nice right here. That's got this kind of peel strip right here, so you're not going to damage the card getting into it otherwise. So there's what we have. Kind of how it comes. We'll get into it and take a look at the cards. Yeah, so these are... They're a little bit, actually, potentially even a little bit smaller than regular playing cards, and they don't quite feel like playing cards. They more so feel like a plastic-coated card stock. We'll go through each of the cards here so you can see each one of them real quick. So we've got the Artifact, the Beast, the Broken One, the Dark Lord, Donjon, Seer, Ghost, Executioner, Horseman. Oh, it's a nice one there. The Innocent, Marionette, Mists, Raven, the Tempter, the Wizard, Transmuter. This is a Star Suit. Diviner, Enchanter, the Abjurer, the Elementalist, the Evoker, the Illusionist, the Necromancer, the Conjurer, the Warrior. Starting with a new suit here, we've got the Avenger, the Paladin, the Soldier, the Mercenary, the Myrmidon, the Berserker, the Hooded One, the Dictator, the Torturer, the Rogue, changing suits here, the Swashbuckler, the Philanthropist, the Traitor, the Merchant, the Guild Member, the Beggar, the Thief, the Collector or the Tax Collector, the Miser, the Priest, the monk starting a new suit, the missionary, the healer, the shepherd, the druid, the anarchist, the charlatan, the bishop, and the traitor. So, one thing I like about them, they're thick. The artwork's decent, right? But it's all black and white. So I think my only complaint about this, two things. Number one, I would like the cards to be a little bit bigger, kind of closer to true kind of tarot size cards. And number two, and the artwork here's it's fine. You know, it's kind of cool, but I wish that these were colored. I get it. It's a horror style of a campaign, sort of gothic horror. Strahd's a vampire, the black and white, I kind of get that. But still, at that, I wish that these were color. Aside from that, I think it makes a nice addition, really themed addition to your game, kind of how you're going to play it, and overall, I like it. The price isn't high. I want to say it was like $10 or $12. I bought this myself. I'm not sponsored by anyone. My own money, no discounts whatsoever. But take a look, decide for yourself if that's what you want to do. Got a couple of other things to show you real quick. So originally, Curse of Strahd was Ravenloft. So this is an original copy that I got back in the early mid-'80s. I think originally published in 1983. This is the precursor to Curse of Strahd, and I'll get into this and go through it at some time in the near future. But before then, just wanted to show you this. So, in the game of Tarokka, and we're not going to get into the whole thing, you draw 5 cards at the beginning, and even back in Ravenloft you do it, and it tells you that, first you determine this location of a holy symbol, card 1. Second one is this card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient may help you understand your foe. And then third, this determines where Strahd actually is. And fourth, determine where the Sun Sword is. And then in the case of Ravenloft, they say determine Strahd's goal. So you pick up a 5th and last card and read the following, and it kind of tells you his goal. So the way that you do this is the DM at the beginning, even back in first edition, you would draw these cards. It would let you kind of know how to set up the game, so it never plays the same twice. You can actually replay it, and it's different. But in this case, you used just regular deck of cards. And you pulled out, you started with 52, you pulled out all 2s, 4s, 6s, 8s, 9s, and jokers, and then you had the remaining deck. You went ahead and pulled these, used these tables, and you figured it out. So I'm not quite, I guess you could still use these same cards and basically determine what your suits were going to be based upon kind of the new suits here. Anyway, you'd have to do some rewriting to get it to work perfectly. But that's the original version, and we're not going to get in. Oh, and then kind of what you would do, same back in first edition as you do in 5th edition, with the deck of cards is first use a DM, go through them and determine the fortune, and then at a different point in the adventure, you can present them with the opportunity to get their fortune read. And in getting their fortune read, you can go ahead and reveal these same elements about Strahd and what's going on. The same things that you're following with your story. It just kind of gives them some insight into kind of how they can do this. So there's Ravenloft. So here is Curse of Strahd, 5th edition, beloved adventure, right? Just, beautiful artwork, beautiful story, fun to play, fun for players. And they've also got here, refer to it as the Fortunes of Ravenloft. It's the same 5-card spread. And the way that these are, they call it a little bit different from the original Ravenloft, right? Curse of Strahd. So first card is the Tome of Strahd. Second card is, and this card tells of the history. So a little bit different than Ravenloft, different order. Second card is the Holy Symbol of Ravenkind, right? This card tells the powerful force of good and protection, the holy symbol of great hope. The Sun Sword. So the third sword tells of the location of the Sun Sword, which you can use to fight Strahd. Then the fourth one is Strahd's enemy. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in your battle against the darkness. And the fifth card is, in this version, it's the location of Strahd. So anyway, you can use these cards, go through, and do your initial reading at the beginning. and as the DM, and then same thing in 5th edition is they want you to, it's a potential, it's an option. Give the players, if you want, the option to get their fortunes read. They get their fortunes read, and then they get kind of these same kind of clues about finding Strahd and eventually facing him. So there you go. The official Tarokka deck. Add some flavor, add some flair. You can play it with regular playing cards. I've also heard of people playing it actually using tarot cards and just kind of picking their suits and determining which one works accordingly and doing it from there. So your choice. Determine what you want to do. I say it's a decent addition. I like the flavor. I like the flair. If I paid probably any more than I think the $12 that I paid, I wouldn't really be pleased with it. I wouldn't want to pay $20 or $30 for this, seeing they're all just black and white. But if you made them full color and if you made them a little bit bigger, maybe gave them some gold trim or something like that, I would rate it a little bit higher, and I would even be willing to pay more money for it. But as is, decent buy for what it is. Good addition to your campaign. I always love props. In fact, I even 3D print a lot of props. So if you're familiar with Tomb of Annihilation, these are puzzle cubes that you get from each of the shrines in the city of Omu. Anyway, so I love props. I love the idea of props, something you can physically hand to your players, put in their hands. Here you go. Here's an option if you like to do that. I do suggest it ultimately. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Art of Character podcast, where we publish new Dungeons and Dragons related content each and every week. If you want to support the channel, you can like, comment, or subscribe, or click below and you can join our Patreon, or click below and you can purchase something from our merch store, like this really cool t-shirt just like this. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.